Oh, now you can hear me. Uh-oh. Do I have to restart that to add yourself? Okay, so you couldn't hear me? Hotel Nerd Network? Uh-oh. Could you hear? Do I have to do that? Start that over? Do I redo the thing? Hey, shut up. You got your own show. I'm going to mute you. I think so. Hello? Echo cancellation. Camera general. All right, can you guys hear me now? Okay. All right, let's do the countdown again. Twelve, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, guys. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the first episode of the new Hotel Nerd Network shows, Series 1. This is Stop and Go, and I'm your host, Louie B. Hello? Hey, there's the Hotel Nerd himself. Welcome.
I'm going to introduce you first.
Oh, okay. All right, go ahead. What do I do? What are you pointing to?
Yeah. And I am the hotel nerd himself. And I'm only sticking around for a hot second. And there's a huge delay there. Anyhow, like you said, new shows, new year coming up. So this is the beginning of a new. So I'm going to be taking a step back a little bit because I'm going to have a busy 2022 coming up on my slate. And hang on, there we go.
Yeah.
Sorry, I have the YouTube stream going too at the same time apparently.
Okay. I bet that's hard to manage.
Technical difficulties aside, it was to be expected for the first episode, but now we're off to the races and running, so I'm going to back out because I'm actually in the process of cooking food right now. But we're seeing a lot more of me. There's the original shows are coming back as well, but this is the one of two new shows that we have for the new year. But Lewis, good luck. Have fun. Any questions? I'll be around. I'll be watching.
All right. Thank you so much for your time, Mr. Nerd. I appreciate it. Enjoy your food. So, yeah, what a wonderful introduction I just received. And just so you're aware, this show will be, it'll be on Tuesdays at around this time. But it won't be any Tuesdays, just every Tuesday. It'll be just some certain ones, just due to my schedule. And so probably once a month. And also one of the other new shows, tune in on New Year's Eve, and you'll see the next new show coming up. So with all that out of the way, let's get started and talk about Space Jam: A New Legacy. So Space Jam Space Jam: A New Legacy. Sorry, I have to read my script here. It's might go a little more off the cuff. But Space Jam: A New Legacy, also known as Space Jam 2, is a family comedy movie that came out in 2021 in the summer, and it was released on HBO Max. That is how I watched it, and I watched it again in preparation for this stream. So, with regards to Space Jam 2, it is a cast of a lot of characters that you probably have heard of, such as LeBron James, Zendaya, Michael B. Jordan, and Don Cheadle as Al G. Rhythm, the main villain of the show. New Year's Day, not New Year's Eve. Oh, yeah, check out the new show on New Year's Day, not New Year's Eve. All right. So it also is featuring some of your most favorite NBA players, similar to how the original Space Jam had Charles Barkley in it and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. So this one features people such as Klay Thompson, Kyrie Irving, Anthony Davis, and Damian Lillard, also known as Dame Time, which makes sense because those NBA players all have superpowers in the movie. So let's get started with how this. Let's get started with how this movie starts. So it begins with LeBron James and an actor playing LeBron James's son, not his real son, which I thought was an interesting choice, because he does have a son in real life, and they did not cast him for the role of LeBron James's son. It makes you question how LeBron feels about his son, I would say, but regardless, the actor playing LeBron James's son is pretty good in the movie. So essentially, he is starting out playing basketball with his older brother, but just kind of fooling around, right? And LeBron goes out there and he makes him say, no, this needs to be all serious. Basketball is serious time, which is probably why LeBron is so disliked in the NBA, because he's all serious and real mean sometimes, at least rumored. And so his fake son in the movie goes and plays video games instead of playing basketball. They have kind of a classic father-son falling out. And so he goes and plays a video game that he himself actually programmed, like a boss. And the video game is also basketball, which I thought was interesting because he must like it to some extent, but not enough to play it for his father, the greatest basketball player of all time. So to skip over some of the details here, essentially LeBron James goes to Warner Brothers for some reason, and they go into the Interverse, which is the kind of like the Looney Tunes world in the first Space Jam, but with more characters and things. And so you get to see a lot of your favorite Looney Tunes characters put into diverse situations. For example, one of them is in the Game of Thrones universe. Lola Bunny, played by Zendaya, is in Wonder Woman. And there was a controversy about Lola Bunny where some people were saying that SJWs made her less attractive, but I don't really care about how attractive a cartoon rabbit is, if I'm being honest. But that doesn't really have too much to do with the story, unfortunately. So they go into the Interverse, and Al G. Rhythm, played by Don Cheadle, decides to kidnap LeBron James's son. who is really intelligent, and starts helping him create programs and stuff. And so, long story short, LeBron James has to gather up the Toon Squad to compete with his son in a game of basketball. And instead of the Goon Squad, or instead of the Monstars, they have the Goon Squad this one. And so the Goon Squad, what that is it's some of your favorite NBA players, such as Damian Lillard and Klay Thompson, but they're made into superheroes by, like the Avengers, by LeBron James' son, but they're modeled after his video game that he made. So some of them have really clever powers, like Damian Lillard, who is known for Dame Time, is his nickname. He can stop time. And then Anthony Davis, who's known for having a unibrow, is a big bird. Klay Thompson is firewater, because when he shoots 3-pointers, he gets really hot. And he's also a splash brother, so that's why it's water too. And I would say those are some of the most interesting powers they give them. There's a couple women in it too, but I don't watch the WNBA, so I don't really know too much about them. One of them's a spider, though, and one of them's name is Sue Bird. I think she's related to Larry Bird. So, I would say right now we're going to start getting into some spoilers. So, that was kind of a bare bones description. But now we're going to start getting into some spoilers, okay? So, where is the spoiler ticker? Uh-oh. This is a spoiler review. There we go. All right. You have been warned. So, one of the things that I can't really bring myself to avoid here. It doesn't really flow super well. But Bugs Bunny does, in fact, die in this movie. He gets killed. He sacrifices himself in the final basketball game, and he disappears. And apparently forever. But alas, he turns out to be revived and is in the real world at the end of the movie. So, not as like a realistic bunny, but as the cartoon himself. So it makes you really think, are they going to make a third Space Jam with Bugs Bunny roaming around the real world and playing just in an NBA game with real players? It would be real interesting if they tried that. I think that now would be a good time to talk about kind of my feelings towards the movie. So this is a family comedy, but what I would say is that it's more like a family snobbity, because it's not very funny at all. It's kind of uppity too. There's a lot of jokes that kids probably wouldn't get, like when they make the grandma look like she's in the Matrix. Like I wouldn't get that if I was 12, because I didn't watch the Matrix then, right? You know, they have lots of gags with the Looney Tunes, but it's just kind of not as funny as the first one. They also do have animated LeBron James, who is not a great look. It doesn't really look great like him. I would say it's kind of almost it's bordering on offensive to me, but that's just my opinion, I would say. One of the other things is, instead of in the final battle having them be all cartooned, they're 3D animated and they look awful. They really don't look good. There's also a rap battle with Porky Pig, which is kind of funny, but they show it in the trailers. So if you watch the trailer, you saw the funniest part, probably. It is kind of a heartwarming story. I think it would have had a bigger impact if LeBron James Jr., LeBron James's actual son, was in it. But nope, they picked some kid, some child actor to be LeBron James's son. Do they have chemistry? Not really. They're okay together. But, it's not the same as if it would have actually been his son. They also have a really funny joke where they say they're going to get Michael Jordan back for the game. But instead of the basketball player Michael Jordan, they get the other Michael Jordan, Michael B. Jordan, known for his role as the Human Torch in the Fantastic Four movie, and also Black Panther as the villain, and that Rocky prequel, Creed's kid. Yep. And so that's really interesting. This movie is not, it's not the worst thing. It is very long though. You'll see a lot of cool cameos during the basketball game, which I thought was neat. They have Pennywise, the horror movie clown, which doesn't make a lot of sense to be in a Space Jam movie, but they put him in it anyways. They also have the people from A Clockwork Orange. I believe they're sexual predators. So that was kind of strange. I don't know why they chose to do that, but it kind of represents a theme in this movie, I would say, where they choose lots of cameos from Warner Brothers properties. And I think that takes precedence over telling a compelling story. It's really neat seeing Westeros from Game of Thrones and seeing all the Looney Tunes back together again. And even you get to see a little bit of the Monstars. But that's all it really is. There's not a lot of heart to the movie. It's not great. They have, they have the Joker in there. They have the Star Wars characters, I think. They have Don Cheadle, who looks really short next to LeBron James. He's a pretty good villain, I would say. I like him quite a bit. He is probably my favorite part, aside from the actual basketball game, which I'll get into in a minute here. So the basketball game. It is exactly a 1-to-1 replica of the video game that LeBron James's actor son has created, which I thought was really interesting. It was kind of a good callback. And they make him they make it so that it's not a real normal basketball game. It's a game, it's like a video game, right? And LeBron is real against video games. He wants his son to play basketball. So you get that kind of contrast where he doesn't want his son to be a gamer. He wants him to be a basketball gamer, one who plays basketball. And, it's kind of interesting to have that contrast. And so in the game, in the basketball game, a basket is worth 2 points, but if you do lots of special moves and stuff, then they're worth more points. So LeBron has to overcome his own aversion to video games. And he has to kind of tune it up, Let me show you a photo of him when he kind of tunes it up. He gets loony, they call it, actually. Do you see that? Look at his little face he's making. See, he's starting to get silly with them, and starts loosening up his grip. But as you can see, he's still a little reserved. He's not quite going all the way that he needs to. Not quite loony yet. He goes Now, look at this. Daffy, that guy is Looney. This is where him and Porky Pig have the rap battle. Okay? And so while they're getting into all their zany shenanigans during the game, LeBron starts, letting loose a little bit. He starts understanding that, there's more to life than just dunking a basketball, right? And, he is coming to understand that he has to meet his movie son where he's at. And so he finally starts letting loose a little bit and starts earning points back to save his son. This battle is for his son. It is not for the fate of the world or anything, but he wants to get his son back from Algie Rhythm, played by Don Cheadle. And, I think that is a noble cause as any. So ultimately, in the end, LeBron James gets loony, gets a little crazy, and wins the basketball game, saving his son. And so during this, there is one final moment where Bugs Bunny has to sacrifice himself by doing a glitch move in the game. He has to kind of hack the game and cheat a little bit. And so he does a 360 dunk no scope. And by doing that, it erases him and his life from reality, which, you might think is a joke, but it's not. That's really what happens. It's nothing to be laughing about. Here is when he is, look at him. He sacrificed himself there. It's honestly kind of a tearjerker moment. Everyone's smiling here because they won, but you just see that little sad little face on Bugs Bunny himself. And so when they go back into the real world, you start to see Bugs Bunny coming there. And, LeBron learns an important lesson about fatherhood and about basketball. And it's you can't force basketball to be loved by your child. So he finally takes his son to a video game camp that he wanted to go to instead of going to basketball. But the little smile at the end is that his son carries a basketball with him to the game camp. And Bugs Bunny is also there alive in real life. So, do I recommend this? Do I recommend this movie? I think it's a cute way to spend an afternoon, but I would recommend it a lot more if you have a child in the family. And I don't know that I can say go to see it. So I think at this point I would have to say stop. That you don't really gain a lot out of it, and it certainly does not have the magic of the first Space Jam. So now I will be taking any questions from our chatters regarding Space Jam 2. I want to shout out some of the people who are here for the first episode of Stop and Go. And that is Hotel Nerd Network, Tiffany Snyder, like the Snyder Cut. I get it. Larry Lease. And this like Larry Bird from the first movie. Do any of you have any questions about Space Jam: A New Legacy? All right. Well, I will take questions for a couple minutes here, and then I'll give you a little preview of what I'm going to be reviewing next time with my co-anchor of in the Hotel Nerd Network, the host of the Ramen Report, Julian. He has requested us to do a review of the movie Drive with Ryan Gosling. Can you believe it? I know I couldn't. I really love that movie. And to hear that one of my multiversal humanoids would also like to do a review of that, well, butter me up. I am ready to go. I can't believe Ryan Gosling did an action movie. I thought he was just the rom-com guy, like just a pretty boy, just like Justin Timberlake. But no, he gets a little down, dirty, and grimy in Drive, the movie from 2011. All right, be sure to follow Hotel Nerd Network on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter. This episode will be going up audio on Spotify and Anchor FM. Look forward to seeing you all on the next one, and be sure to tune in to the Ramen Report on January 1st on this channel. All right, let's take us out of here with the credits. All right, take care. Goodbye.